Cox and the NSAA proudly present the Class A State Soccer Championships.
And welcome back to downtown Omaha, ladies and gentlemen, where tonight we have a great night and a great sight. Morrison Stadium for the Class A Girls State Championship soccer match right here on Cox. Hi everybody, Mark Kranak alongside JJ Davis. We will be joined by Mike Brewer a little bit later on. He's an assistant coach for the Gretna team. That's Class right. B played just before Class A. So Mike will join us a little bit later on. He's still talking to his Dragons that he likes to coach.
His downtrodden Dragons.
Oh, exactly. They just lost a close one. More on that a little bit later on. But Millard North coming in, 12th appearance in the state tournament finals. Looking to try to get their 12th state tournament final. They haven't won a championship since 2008. They have a pretty good shot tonight. And JJ, as we look at the Mustangs, they have some awfully good talent. It starts with a player who's only a sophomore, Rachel Brennan.
And what does it say about a sophomore who's led the team in scoring both as a freshman and a sophomore and has already committed to Nebraska, and Rachel Brennan? Talking to Coach John Walsh before the game, and he told me goal scorers are not made. They're born.
All right.
Rachel Brennan is born to be a goal scorer. Every time she gets the ball, she thinks score. So look for her up front to do some magic tonight.
So you got Millard North, perennial power. As we mentioned, this is their 12th appearance in the finals. Right. Lincoln Southeast, never been to the finals. And in fact, this Millard North team is the one that beat them last year in the state tournament. Lincoln Southeast, a chance at revenge. You talk about natural goal scorers. Lincoln Southeast has one too. Paige Nielsen is outstanding.
And what does it say about Paige Nielsen? As a senior, she's committed, been recruited by perhaps the top collegiate women's program of the country in North Carolina. Right. Leads the team in goal scorers with 23, was all state as a sophomore. A very technical player, very good with her feet. If she gets in some open space and Millard North stabs at it, makes a mistake, look out, Paige Nielsen's gone, and she's going to find the back of the net.
Very gifted, ambidextrous.
And interesting.
Which means that she can also kick with her left and her right.
That's right, the good ones can. I tell my daughter Lexi that all the time.
All right, more to come here on the pregame show as we get rolling. When we come back, JJ will chat with the head coach for Millard North, John Carlson. Coming right back on the Game of the Week. Beautiful night in downtown Omaha as we get set to play and crown the Class A state champ in girls soccer tonight. Well, I was renaming people in the pregame show. It's not John Carlson, it's John Walsh. And he's standing by with our own JJ Davis.
Joining me right now is Millard North head coach John Walsh. Of course, this ain't your first rodeo. Fourth state final the last 6 years. But Lincoln Southeast is on a mission, and the Knights have some goal scorers.
They have a lot of offensive weapons. They've got some excellent defensive players because they haven't been scored on yet in the tournament. They've outscored their two opponents 9-0 in the two matches. So obviously they've got a lot of offensive firepower, and obviously they're not allowing too many shots on goal either. So we've definitely got our work cut out for us this evening.
Played in a lot of close games. The Mustangs, 7 straight shutouts, coach, to get to the championship game. How do you see this one going? Your goal scorers against theirs, your talent up front, or defense, the back row?
I just talked to Dwayne Johnson, the Southeast coach, a few minutes ago, and I said, good luck, coach. Final score is going to be 2-1. I don't know who's going to have 2. I don't know who's going to have 1, but that's what the final score is going to be.
And either way, as you always tell me, the sun will come up tomorrow, right, John?
It'll come up a little brighter if we're successful tonight, but the sun will come up in the morning.
Good luck, coach.
Thank you, JJ.
John Walsh, calm, cool as a cucumber, the head man, Millard North. Back upstairs.
All right, thanks much, JJ. Take a look at the starting lineup now. You're going to notice there's not a lot of seniors, just 2 starting tonight, Jenna Summers and Shannon Courtney. We talked about Rachel Brennan in the pregame show, a sophomore commitment to the University of Nebraska already. She's outstanding in the 4-4-2 alignment for head coach John Walsh and the Mustangs as they look for state title number 12. Earlier, JJ also catching up with the head coach for Lincoln Southeast, Dwayne Johnson.
I'm here with Lincoln Southeast head coach Dwayne Johnson. No one has to tell you it's the first time the Knights have ever gotten this far. How do you soothe the nerves, keep the girls' heads in the game?
Well, you're absolutely right. This is our first time, and I would talk to him before the game. I said, we have to, if we get behind, how are we going to react to that? And I told him, I said, it's nothing desperate, if we get behind, but I know the kids are all pumped up. I think they're at a real high right now, and I just hope they play well and we're in the game.
Paige Nielsen said after your first round victory, we want to show Omaha that it's just not the Metro teams, but some Lincoln teams can win the state championship as well on a mission.
Well, you're right. There has been Omaha teams here. We're fortunate to be here. We want to be here, and we feel like that we can play. And it's nice to have a Lincoln team in the final. But it seems like it's Millard North, Marion, and Millard West every year here, and they're great teams, and they should be here every year.
You said you got to play your best game of the year.
We'll have to play our best game and limit our mistakes.
Thanks, Dwayne. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Dwayne Johnson from Lincoln Southeast, Millard North, and the Knights coming right up. Back upstairs.
The Knights, an outstanding season. Dwayne Johnson's been the head coach there since 2005, has been at the school in the soccer program since 2000. We talked about Paige Nielsen. She might be one of the more gifted players that the state has seen in a while. A true ambidextrous player, left and right, a junior. She's heading to North Carolina on a scholarship, and they run a 4-3-3 alignment, do the Knights. So, these teams, how did they get here? Well, Lincoln Southwest, Lincoln Southeast, rather, I should say, knocked off Omaha Burke. Now, Southeast coming in at the number 8 seed. They knocked off Omaha Burke, and then they advance to get to the... Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong thing here. What am I doing? Lincoln Southeast beat Marion, the number 5 seed, and then took on Lincoln Southwest, a crosstown foe, and got the W 6-0. Millard North, of course, knocking off Columbus, and then their crosstown foe, Millard West. Couple of 1-0 games for Millard North, so not a lot of goal scoring for the Mustangs here in the postseason. That's a stark contrast to what Lincoln Southeast has gotten done here at the state tournament. And would like to welcome in Mike Brewer, who was just coaching. He's our color commentator tonight, was just coaching for the Gretna Dragons. Lost in double OT, close one. Mike, you doing okay?
It was a hell of a game, Mark. Two very good teams that both deserve to be in that game, and get them next year.
Hey, well, we're glad you joined us here and ready to call this Class A game. Reminder, this game, every game of the week, you can catch on demand in the Omaha Metro category of Free Zone with on-demand Cox Channel 1. We are underway. It's the Lincoln Southeast Knights in the black and gold. It is Millard North in the white uniforms with the blue and the green trim. So a 4-3-3 alignment for Lincoln Southeast. What does that tell you, Mike?
From just the looks of it so far, they're going to run their 3 in the middle, the center mids, as basically 3 center mids. They're going to form a triangle out of it. I don't know if it's going to have 1 attacking player or 2 attacking players. We'll have to see a little bit more, but what it does do is it opens up the space on the wings for Millard North, who has outside mids. How are they going to deal with those outside players, Dervin and Courtney, since they don't have people in those same spots? If I was Millard North, that's a space I'm going to look to play, because those players should be wide open most of the time.
Through ball up ahead. And knocked out, back to Millard North. Throwing it in there is Jordan Moran. Giving chase, Alexi Taylor for Lincoln Southeast, Shannon Courtney for Millard North.
And that was them looking to find one of those outside mids I just mentioned. She had pushed all the way up with the back, made it easy for her to defend there, but if they keep attacking that flank all night, it's going to be tough for Southeast to deal with.
Got it to Rachel Brennan. Brennan. Back over to Flannery. Up ahead it goes. Courtney. And Lincoln Southeast ball. Southeast, first time in the finals. Mike, you just coached in somewhat of a similar situation, and this wasn't Gretna's first rodeo today, but you're playing against a Scott team that going for a three-peat, so obviously the powerhouse in Class B. Do you notice a difference when you're going against a team like that in terms of your girls' mentality and how they respond to that? Because you're Southeast playing a Mustang team that really is the envy of a lot of programs in the state.
Yeah, I can't speak for...
Long shot ripped by Bailey Durbin, but misses just wide.
I can't speak for Southeast since they haven't played Millard North this year. I could speak for the Gretna girls here a second. Let's look at this shot here. Good little touch to space with the right foot. Not sure if she's left-footed. Sure looks like she is because that's a well-struck ball. Had the keeper beat. That was just inside the post. The Gretna girls did have the advantage of playing Scott earlier in the season. It's a 4-3 game that Scott came back to win.
Here's long ball opportunity. Paige Nielsen giving chase, but tipped back nicely by Oderman.
Even though they lost, though, that game, and Scott ended their season last year in the championship game, that gave them the confidence to know they could play with them. So Southeast has been in some of those tough games this year, I'm sure, even if they haven't played Millard North.
Nielsen chips one. That's Wampler and the goalkeeper Kylan Moyer. A nice job of coming up to grab that one. Moyer, just a freshman.
Yeah, that was a good play by the keeper. If she's not off her line, which means if she's not standing at the penalty spot when that ball's hit, could be in the back of the net right now.
Check that Moyer, a sophomore. The attack is thwarted by Southeast. You notice here early, Southeast has some quickness about them.
And the game's kind of wide open as well, too. Back and forth.
In terms of college talent on this field, we have quite a bit. You have 5 players committed already on Lincoln Southeast squad, committed to colleges, 4 of those Division I. And then you have, if I'm not mistaken, what is it, 3 players committed to the University of Nebraska on Millard North's team, plus 1 that's looking at ISU.
Oh, you normally don't get that much talent on the field for one game, but it's good to see it all here in the finals.
Nielsen, good strength. And cleared out by Moran. Again by Summers. It's Brennan giving chase on the ball. Mackenzie Thaler.
A nice little flick by Nielsen with the head out wide, but Mackenzie couldn't get the cross into the box. Another interesting matchup will be the 3 forwards of Southeast versus the 4 backs of Millard North. Typically, teams will run 2 up top, so you've got 4 versus 2. Today they're 1 short, well, 1 less extra defender because of the 3 up top. So Southeast is going to take their chances with the 3 up top versus the 4, but they're going to give space in the midfield by not having the outside mids.
It's Bailey Wobig. And turned back nicely by Taylor. Courtney Allen controlling near midfield. Stuck, and that's Marky Pick. The outside Courtney. Good spacing.
Hey, JJ, what's Millard North got?
Stays in bounds. Now out of bounds. You noticed that early, too, that Millard North pretty disciplined in their spacing.
Yeah, it looks like what Southeast is going to do to guard those outside mids is to send one of their 3 center mids out of the middle of the field to the sideline and keep the 4 backs together. Another way to do that is have one of the outside backs pick up the outside mid as it comes forward.
Both teams kind of equally attacking here early. Chased down by Moran and kicked out by Oderman. Mustang ball. Alyssa Kromicher tried to lead it from Nielsen. Left too long. Now Nielsen with it. Heads it back to Kromicher. Stolen back by Pick.
Both teams still kind of in a stage of feeling each other out. Ball stolen here.
Here's Wampler. Tried to center it off the leg of a Mustang. There's Allen. Kromicher has a shot. Had a clearing for a moment there, but closed up nicely by the Mustang defense. So how rare is it to go against the 4-3-3 alignment? Does it take a while to get used to if you're the Mustangs?
Well, hopefully they, did some scouting of their own, did a couple walkthroughs against how, if they hadn't seen it in the past, what they would do to adjust to it. It's not necessarily more difficult, but if you're not prepared for it, it can cause you some problems.
Let's send it downstairs to JJ.
Just to expand on what you guys were talking about, Lincoln Southeast is a solid possession team, and you got a glimpse of that about a minute ago. Everybody thinks of their front line and Paige Nielsen, but then there's the junior Hannah Wampler. She has 2 hat tricks this year, including one in the last game, a 6-0 win over Lincoln Southwest. Coach Johnson has said that Wampler disrupts defenses wherever she's at, so look for number 1 on the wing, along with number 8 in the middle.
Excellent point, JJ. Some solid players for both teams. Wampler among them. Here's Nielsen. And that attack turned back. Wampler's heading to UNO on a scholarship. Kromicher's going to be playing to this stadium in Creighton.
I've had the misfortune of having to coach a team that played against Hannah Wampler's team several occasions, and very talented player. More hat tricks than 2 against us, I would say.
Maybe if you had coached better. Just a thought.
Maybe if I hadn't shown up.
Dig deep next time.
Kind of been an ebb and flow type game. Millard North had the ball first 5 minutes or so, and now Southeast had it the next 5 minutes. But neither team can really get anything in front of the goal. Nothing dangerous so far from either team.
The goalkeeper, Jocelyn Springer for Lincoln Southeast. She is the freshman. Boyer, her counterpart, a sophomore for Millard North. Bit of a concern for Southeast. Springer being just a freshman, obviously seasoned and talented after going through the year, but nonetheless, pretty big stage for somebody that was in 8th grade last year.
That might be something that comes into play if this game gets to a shootout one.
Are you predicting that right now? Mike Brewer, ladies and gentlemen, predicting a shootout. Time 28-25 remaining in the first half. We will hold you accountable to that.
I'm not sure where this conversation went awry.
It started with your bold prediction. As Brennan leads up front, cleared out by Riley Burns. Just missed the leg of Brennan. Trailing the play was Flannery.
There's that space on the flank. This time they have to pull the outside back out to guard it.
Out to Allen with the left foot. Brennan camping out around the penalty box. And they'll reset. Launch one, right to Springer, and above the crossbar.
Is that our first sub of the game?
Looks like it. Bailey Wobig checking out for Millard North. And Sarah Wolfel, number 6, will check in. Courtney Allen, far side. Marky pick. Opportunity on the left side for Dervin. Lobs one, the header by Brennan. Bit high for Brennan.
Yeah, it all started with a couple passes before that. Here's the cross, just doesn't get pulled back enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you can hear it on the television broadcast, but we do have some vuvuzelas in the crowd. Reviving those from the World Cup, of course. I don't think it's JJ that's playing those, but we'll have to get confirmation later.
I think it might be him.
Flannery sends it back to Pick. And now Southeast try to get possession. Chance for Southeast. Komencher. Knocked away by Pick. Allen gets chase on Taylor. Allen, strong player. Allen, one of the more accurate passers on the team. As we get subs now. Hannah Juergens will check out.
And I don't know if they're meaning to do this or not, but Southeast 3 mids, I believe started off as kind of 3 center mids when this game started. But now if you look at it, it's kind of a left, a central, and a right. 12, 22, and can't see who that is on the far side. But 12 is a center, one of their mids, and she's now pulled out to this side to mark the outside mid of Millard North.
There's a foot race. Won by the Mustangs momentarily. Tipping it out was Jordan Moran. Some space to work with here. And Moran will throw it in. More substitutions now. Kate Morford into the contest. Checking out is Shannon Courtney. Bailey Wobig is also back in the contest. Some contact. Marky Pick's going to be called for that one. Riley Burns on the kick there, and Pick redirects.
Return.
Now it's Brennan giving chase with it. That's the future Nebraska player. And for all the information on the state tournament and all sports sanctioned by the Nebraska Scholastic Activities Association, check out nsaahome.org. There you will find all the brackets and all the season-long records from every team that competes in every single class of the NSAA. nsaahome.org. Art Kranak, Mike Brewer, J.J. Davis, and the Cox crew with you. The Class A Girls State Championship game. No score. We've played 17 and a half minutes. First ever trip for Southeast to the finals. There's Brennan. Springer comes up and grabs it.
That was a good ball across the field. Big cross to from the center mid to the outside right mid for Millard North, hanging out in that spot where, once again, Southeast doesn't have players by design. They're going to have to keep attacking those spaces. They're going to look to get some dangerous balls in the box. If Southeast is going to run three up top, they've got to get the ball to feed up there to those forwards and let them combine off each other. Haven't really seen much of that yet from Southeast. Anything dangerous when they've got the ball up top.
Maybe credit Millard North's defense for that so far. Ever think about that, Coach? I mean, come on.
Maybe. Definitely two good defensive teams. Both teams very well organized in the back. And don't need to look at, when you think of defending, you don't have to look at just the defenders. Look out all over the field. If there's pressure on the ball, person with the ball cannot do anything with it. So look for that all over the field as well, because that's pretty good from both teams also.
Let's send it downstairs, check in with JJ.
Coach was talking about the back row for each team. Millard North, 16 shutouts, 8 in the first 9 games, and of course the Mustangs have put up a goose egg in the last 7. Right now, Paige Nielsen can't find any space, Coach, because she's being shadowed by number 13, Jalen Oderman. She's a bigger, stronger player, and every time number 8 gets it, she's being physical, trying to keep her off the ball. Back upstairs.
Thank you, JJ, and good point. I'd imagine, though, a player with that skill level and that size, I mean, it's not the first time she's gone up against somebody that she's smaller than. Got to be crafty when you're dealing with players that are physically much bigger than you, and Paige Nielsen certainly is that.
And the other thing you want to look for with the forwards on both teams is the creativity in the runs up top. I'm watching Paige Nielsen right now.
Big collision.
Oh, I hope she's okay.
With Jalen Oderman, as we just talked about, being physical. Oderman and Nielsen with the collision.
To get back to the runs up top, the 3 forwards from South are left, central, and right. And they're staying in those areas. Here's the collision. Fair challenge, both going straight up. Just didn't land too comfortably, either of them.
And Oderman, a junior, kind of the quarterback on defense. She runs the show back there. She's marking up on Nielsen defensively. Emphatically on that last series. Here's Nielsen. Turn it back. Well, you just noticed the momentum that Brennan plays with as the collision yields no call.
Yeah, she's not only a goal scorer, but she's a physical presence as a forward up there.
And she's a point A to point B player. If you happen to be in that line between A and B, look out. There's Kometcher, some fancy footwork, the Creighton recruit. To Wampler, back to Kometcher, back to Wampler, beautiful.
There's some combining between the, looks like that's the forwards and the mids there.
Caitlin Otter tracks it down, or Kristen Otter in the far corner.
Pressure, pressure!
Kometcher, recipient of a Markey Pick collision. Body's hitting the floor. Getting chippy already here in the first half.
Good job, J-Mo.
Producer Spencer Millard aptly pointing out that this is not a floor, so bodies are actually hitting the field.
It's a pitch, guys. If you want to be
Oh, jeez. Persons are falling on the surface below them. We'll just keep it at that.
No, it's just getting ridiculous.
Here's Nielsen. Looking for Wampler. And out from the goal is Kylan Moyer. Turn back that attack.
That's where the space is to play. They keep finding it.
Left one up front. Here's an attack. Springer up to gobble it up.
I don't mind the cross there. She didn't have anybody in the box quite yet, though, so it had to be a ball pulled back a little bit more. Another thing they can look to do when they get to that space, they're around the corner. Take it at the goal. Take it at the goal like the goal we saw last night in the boys' championship game. First goal from Grand Island.
Nielsen tried to leave it for Summers. And more substitutions as Courtney Allen, or Shannon Courtney, will check back into the game for Millard North.
U.S. Bank is proud to provide today's students with positive lifelong memories. U.S. Bank, all of us, serving you.
Two juniors and one sophomore heading to Nebraska next year for Millard North. Oderman and Flannery, and also Rachel Brennan, sophomore. All Nebraska commits. Then you have Drake, Creighton, North Carolina, and UNO represented on Lincoln Southeast squad. Shannon Courtney gets picked clean, and Riley Burns with a solid defense. Burns in the mix again. Paige Nielsen, flip to Komecher.
And once again, you can see there, Nielsen touched the ball twice, but she's kind of on an island there. Was trying to combine a couple times with Komecher, but you know, she's 20 yards away, farther away from her goal than the other two forwards, or 30 yards on either side of her. Not really much combination going on between the forwards up there.
Now Summers on the attack for Southeast.
Could be a free kick from a dangerous position there.
Sports Photography is the official team in action photographer of all NSAA championship events.
And there's the penalty.
Photos personalized to watch.
Committed by Oderman. And up on the kick is Riley Burns, Jr. To Summers and Nielsen, both in the vicinity. Pick with a strong left leg.
That's that outside mid.
Leaves one for Morford. Back over to Shannon Courtney in Southeast with a good job of turning it back. Nielsen comes back from her forward spot. Summers, back to Nielsen. Turf monster. Might have grabbed Oderman on that last attempt.
Oh, if they can go forward fast here, Mark, they've got numbers. 3 versus 4 from midfield. It's good odds. Really didn't do much with it, though.
Far side, that's Wobig. Saves it. Chance here for the Mustangs.
It's a good little combination play here. That's going to be dangerous.
Courtney with the left foot. Otter. It's Morford on the near side. Pick. Back to Flannery. There's Courtney. Near side. Springer comes out and hauls it in. Excellent effort by the freshman.
Everybody missed it out the first time. Then they missed it on the second time.
Springer out pretty far on that.
Yeah, keep her in a good position if North did get something on that ball after it bounced. There's another ball to the outside mid mark.
There's Wobig. Back to Courtney.
It's a great spot to put that first ball. Still in bounds though.
Courtney's had a couple near opportunities. Let's send it downstairs to JJ, who I believe was blowing a vuvuzela. Is that you?
In your dreams, pal. No, it is not
Okay,
me.
just wanted to make sure.
But I'm going to blow the horn for the freshman goalkeeper
Hey.
for Lincoln Southeast. Her name is Jocelyn Springer. And Coach Walsh of Millard North told me before the game that he kind of thinks that could be a weakness for the Knights if they could just put the goal on goal against Lincoln Southeast. And so far, the freshman has come up big. And let's keep this in mind. She's recorded shutouts in the first 2 games in the state tournament. So far, the D and the keeper holding up for the Knights.
Point JJ and Springer. Yep, just a freshman, the biggest stage she's played on. She'll scoop this one up. It's one of those deals you flash back to when you were a freshman. What's going through your head at the time? Playing on this stage? Kidding?
Yeah, I don't remember that year.
Ball has stayed on this end for quite some time now in the past few minutes.
North is having some success when they get the ball wide. Southeast is going to have to talk at halftime about what they're going to do to shut down the attack up the flanks from Millard North.
Westenberg a bit out of position. She's the one that made that play on Morford, but found herself up near midfield, but Mustangs could not get an attack out of it. That's Wampler sprinting for Southeast against Holly Hild for Millard North. Holly Hild, freshman, also playing varsity basketball for the Mustangs.
Checking in for Lincoln Southeast is number 14, Aaron Wojcicki.
Aaron Wojcicki has just checked into the game for Lincoln Southeast. Burns, and it's knocked out of bounds by Wolfel. Here's a 50-50, and Nielsen. Komencher. Nielsen giving chase now.
You know, the way this game's being played, very likely it's going to, if it the goal is scored, it's going to be like off a corner kick or...
Here's Wampler, turned back.
That's a corner.
Nielsen.
Or some sort of set piece.
Wampler almost had one there.
Yeah. Good first touch to a good flick. To a great tackle. Looks like that might have been going wide, but they got the touch on it. Here's the corner.
Otter with the defense on Wampler, who will kick it in with the left foot. Not by design for Southeast.
Yeah. Southeast had one corner and one free kick down there in their attacking third. Both of them have ended up somewhere around the 18-yard line. It's not where you want the ball to be. You're not going to have players going to that spot. If they get ahead on it, no way you're going to score from 18 yards out. And the defenders win it, starts their counterattack. Millard North's already down at the other end, just with one player touching the ball.
Brennan, a nice leave. Both Brennan and Nielsen so far, the top scorers for both teams, neutralized early on here with just over 6 minutes to go. Aaron Wojciechowski, the freshman defender, bringing it in for Southeast. Just in off the bench. There's Kometcher. Nice to Nielsen. Back to Kometcher. Saw some space developing.
A nice little combination play there. I don't know if Nielsen was looking for it back or hoping Kometcher would take it herself. A little miscommunication there.
Now here's Otter.
I remember them taking you on a school bus.
Latter part of this half has been spent on this side of the field. As Kometcher takes a spill, draws the penalty. Chance to reverse that here. Coming up at halftime, we will have an interview with the winning head coach for the Skutt Catholic Skyhawks and a couple of their players as well. Just to rub it in to our color commentator, Mike Brewer, who competed against the Skutt Skyhawks as an assistant coach for the Gretna Dragons. Got to be tough, Mike, in all seriousness, when you get to this level. You got two teams that are ecstatic as Brennan giving chase. Boy, she covers ground in a hurry, but not a real threat as Springer's able to scoop it up. But you come this far to get to the tournament and get to the finals, and then only one team leaves happy.
Yeah, no, that is the tough thing about it, seeing the girls' reactions after the game, especially the seniors, realizing they're done. But yeah, only one team can win them all. You made it to the game to have a chance. Took the best team in the state, almost all the way through 2 overtimes, keeping it tied. And things just didn't go our way there at the end. But yeah, great team, great season. Head coach George Bainey did a great job. Good staff here. John Carlson's a good guy, head coach at Skutt as well. I've known him for several years. He does obviously does a fantastic job considering all the championships they've won in the past decade.
Right. Just won their 3rd in a row, so that'll come your way at halftime. Some coverage of that. Here's a 4-on-4 for Millard North.
Those are good numbers. Decent first touch there.
impressed with the recovery by Morgan Westenberg. And the ball rolls casually to Springer.
That could be another situation where we see a goal come from if it doesn't come from a set pieces. North is getting some opportunities from midfield with a 3-on-4 or a 4-on-4.
Now here's Nielsen with the chance. The cross. And Moyer makes the stop.
I think there's a little difference you'll see between Southeast and Millard North is she only had one option in the box. 2 versus 5 for Southeast going forward, where North is getting 3s and 4s versus 4s.
Here's Wampler. Leaves it up ahead. Here's an opportunity. Coming out and getting the save is Moyer.
Fantastic play by the keeper there. Once again, if she's not active, that's a goal.
Yeah, Mackenzie Thaler had a chance there.
That was an excellent ball by Wampler. Just the right amount of pace to give her other forward a chance to run onto it. You have an inactive keeper in this. If you do have an inactive keeper in the goal in that game, right there, it's 1-0.
Southeast last couple of minutes applying some pressure. Really back and forth. Really no ebb and flow to this one.
Now to Lincoln Southeast, number 10, Millard.
Not sure you could say that either team's really playing better than the other right now.
Yeah, maybe Millard North has the ball a little more often, but if possession doesn't lead to scoring chances, it doesn't really matter.
Let's check in with JJ.
I was going to add, you guys, that it seems like in the last couple of minutes, Southeast finding more opportunities, slip passes, that crossing pass. So it sounds like, looks like anyway, the Knights getting a few more chances.
Okay, JJ, last 20 seconds here. And 10 seconds remain.
8, 7, 6.
Try to loft one up to Brennan for one last opportunity. And that'll do it for the first half. And a pretty good one played here so far at Morrison Stadium. And let's send it downstairs, check in with JJ.
Thanks, Mark. I'm here with Millard North head coach John Walsh. Scoreless first half. Seems like you exploited them on the wings in some open space. The Knights had some opportunities late in the half.
They've concentrated their attack down the middle, and we're trying to get it out wide. We think once we get the ball down on the turf, we're going to get a good opportunity inside the 18. But we've got to get the ball down in the 18 on the ground.
Your back row, physical for the most part with Paige Nielsen and their front line.
Been a very tough battle so far. Both teams, their offense and our defense, been quite a battle out there.
Any adjustments, John, or just keep playing the way you are for the second half?
Try to get our midfield in the attack a little more, and instead of going 1v4, we're going to try to go 4v4.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
John Walsh, back upstairs.
Okay, JJ, thanks much. We'll step aside. 0-0 at halftime. Millard North and Lincoln Southeast. When we come back, we'll check in on the Class B action. The game that preceded this one with the Scott Skyhawks winning their third straight. That's next on Cox. Back at Morrison Stadium, downtown Omaha, 0-0 Lincoln Southeast and Millard North at halftime of the Class A Girls State Championship. Before this game was the Class B State Championship between Gretna and Scott, and J.J. Davis caught up with the state champs.
I'm here with the winning coach, John Carlson. Scott wins its third straight state championship in a row, 2-1 over a gritty Gretna team. Your expression says it all, Coach. You know you were in a dogfight.
Yeah, it was a dogfight. Gretna's a great team, well-coached team, and we pulled it out. It was a fun game to coach in. But we have some talented players. Beautiful goals. Liz was defended well the whole game. Their defender, that number 5, was fabulous. But that's the type of player Liz is. She was getting a little frustrated, but she kept working, and made a beautiful, beautiful play at the end there.
You've gone on record as saying Mamie Conroy, Elizabeth Bartels, perhaps 2 of the greatest players in Scott history. Big-time players come up big in big-time games.
They do, and they did, and we talk about that. And they're so competitive. They love to win. They love playing soccer for Scott. What a way to go out for the seniors, for Mamie especially, and then for Liz to step it up and hit a shot like that is why she's one of the best players in the region.
Congratulations, Coach. Go enjoy the victory. Coach John Carlson of Scott will hope to get Mamie Conroy and Liz Bartels in a couple of minutes. Back upstairs.
All right, JJ, right in the midst of all the action, and here is the game-winning goal in the second overtime by Bartels, the sophomore. Upper left corner, drills it. That did it. That made it 2-1. And then JJ was able to catch up with a couple of happy Skyhawks.
I'm here with Mamie Conroy of the victorious Scott Skyhawks. Scored the first goal in the first half. They shattered you very well, but you got one opportunity and you made the most of it.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like set plays is a big part of the game. So we got to finish on those and just.
What does this mean? 3rd state title in a row, and of course you're headed to Nebraska. What's it mean to you coming off an injury?
I don't know. It means a lot. We really worked hard for this. We really wanted it. The season started off kind of rough, and coming back, I didn't know what it was going to be like, but I just tried my hardest, and my knee stayed strong, and the underclassmen really worked hard too, so it was good.
You're saying all the right things. Go celebrate. Congratulations, Mamie.
Thank you.
All right, now the super sophomore, Elizabeth Bartels. Has it sunk in yet?
The game hasn't even sunk in. I can't believe we just won our 3rd title in a row, my 2nd, and I'm only a sophomore. But I could it's not just me, it's my entire team. And the 4 seniors that we have, it was our last game, and we pretty much won due to them.
You are a nationally known player, fastly getting a lot of national recognition. Take me through the goal, left foot, far post.
There was a girl on my back, really tight, and my teammate Anna threw it in, and I felt her on my back, and so I just faked to the right, and it was on my left foot, and I just upper 90'd it.
You're just a sophomore.
I don't know.
Congratulations, Liz.
Thank you.
She's just a sophomore. Elizabeth Bartels and Mamie Conroy from the victorious and 3-time state champ Scott Skyhawks. Back to you guys.
Yeah, congratulations to the Scott Skyhawks for getting their 3rd straight state championship. The medal ceremony afterwards. The head coach, John Carlson, delivering the trophy to the team for the obligatory hoisting of the trophy. Congratulations to Scott and to Gretna as well, who has an amazing staff, including a certain assistant coach named Mike Brewer, who is Mike's side with us tonight. And our fantastic photographers were able to get Mike in action. Look at him coaching.
I was fired up.
You were. You were telling them the right things, and I think you should take solace in that. Great job by Mike barking out the instructions. Wonderful job. Excellent. We're coming back. Second half comes your way next with that guy, Mike's side. Perfect.
Nice.
Back after this.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we get set for the second half here. A couple of shots for Lincoln Southeast, just 4 for Millard North. We'll see how that shakes out here in the second half. As we get set, and let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Very physical game early on, or maybe we'll scratch those highlights for now. Well, no, here we are. Physical game early on, a lot of collisions. He had 5 fouls on Millard North. I expect that to probably continue as the game goes on. Dervin had a couple of shots on goal for Millard North.
It's probably North's best chance right there with that left-footed shot that just went wide.
So we flip sides.
I'm just checking to see if there's anything any major changes to see right off the bat from either team.
And the verdict is?
Guilty.
Well, no.
Oh.
As to whether or not there were many changes.
I can't tell quite yet.
Oh, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Brewer thinking out loud. You saw him coaching earlier. He does that up here as well. He just gestures his arms all over the place.
It's really hard to hear down there, so you gotta do the hand signals for what you're saying, so your players can hear you.
I can hear you up here.
Oh.
I was up on we're positioned on the balcony on the west end of Morrison Stadium, so we have a nice bird's eye view of the action below, and we can hear you loud and clear. And the players were surprisingly listening to you.
I don't know what they were thinking.
So you heard Coach Walsh prior to the game talking about how, Millard North, they want to attack the outside. Lincoln Southeast wants to funnel inside.
It looks like the formations have stayed the same. 4-4-2 for North, 4-3-3 for Southeast. The midfielders have started more central. They got a little spread out because of the outside mids for Millard North at the end of the half. If they want to attack up the middle, they need those midfielders to stay central, so they're outnumbering Millard North in the middle of the park, in the middle of the field. If they get spread out, there's no way for them to combine and work together.
It's Shannon Courtney on the throw-in. And Springer gobbles up that attempt. There is a slight wind coming in from the northeast. The temperatures drop a little bit here. A nice high earlier today of around 68.
Oh, nice flick.
Here's a breakaway.
Way to get around her.
Here's a chance. Stopped by Springer. What a save.
Great save on both ends right there.
Bailey Wobig with the shot. Courtney can't stop it from getting out of bounds, and it goes back to Southeast. And right back to Millard North it goes. Otter on the throw-in. Summers for Courtney, crossed. And Brennan couldn't play it off the hop.
Very similar to Grand Island's goal. The ball got to Wobig from a great flick off the head of Brennan. Had some time to maybe pick and choose a side she wanted to go to. Went a little with power over placement that close to goal. You pick a side and you hit it. Doesn't matter how hard you hit it, as long as it crosses the line.
Here's Nielsen. Sends it up. He's looking for Wampler. And good defense by Millard North. Let's check in now with JJ. What's happening, JJ?
Yeah, I was talking to Dwayne Johnson, the head coach of Lincoln Southeast, just before the start of the half here. And I mentioned the fact that the back row, Millard North, the Mustangs, generally a little bit more physical in the first half. And he said, quote unquote, we're trying to be. He also went on to say with some of the chances the Knights had late in the first half, we're going to get a couple of chances. We just got to bury one. What do you think, you guys? 1 goal wins this or what?
I'll defer to Coach on that one.
Yeah. Game could open up more if a goal does get scored, but we've seen that's the first dangerous chance down there by Millard North after a half in 6 minutes, so 1 goal could definitely win it.
If Millard North gets on the board and Southeast is down, they will change it up a little bit. They'll bring Westenberg from the back end up top to add a little more offensive punch and bringing a freshman back on defense. If they get up a goal, they'll stick with the 4-3-3 as with their current starting lineup. Westenberg on her club team is an outside mid. She's next in line to play forward, but playing defense for this club. Coach Johnson saying very selfless act on her part to just roll with it. She's definitely good enough to play forward, but just for the team's sake, it's better for her to play back. Well, Brennan's going to give chase.
She's got some wheels.
Covers that ground, has an opportunity with the left here, and off the back of a Southeast Knight. Well, you can tell, I mean, you cannot take for granted that she will not get to that ball. When he saw Southeast just kind of not figuring that she would get there on time, and darn near did.
And she had good composure when she tracked it down. She didn't try to just rip a shot. She realized she had some space. Turned and took that space. Shot just got blocked, but that's some good composure from Rachel.
Wampler keeps it. Southeast, now Komencher.
Checking in for the Mustangs.
Sarah Wolfel has checked in off the bench now for Millard North. Got a lot of playing time in that first half as well. Here's Paige Nielsen, but that's going to be an offside.
Pretty easy call for the far side assistant referee there. He's just waiting to see if she's going to chase down the ball before he put up his flag. Once she got involved in the play, then he puts up the flag.
So the kick from Jalen Orderman. Nice fire by Courtney in Southeast with Wampler. Trying to mount something here. Nielsen flipping it back to the wrong team, and it'll go back to Millard North.
Number 15, Bailey Wowick, now in for Millard North.
Bailey Wobig is checked back in for Millard North. Your opportunity there is turned back by Springer. Wampler turns, they got a 3v4, they did. Nielsen bumped from behind, and it's going to be an infraction on Oderman.
Didn't necessarily need to do that. It's going to give a free kick to Southeast from a dangerous position. This might be the one chance Coach Johnson was talking about.
Alyssa Komencher. Don't check that. It'll be Riley Burns on the kick. Burns sends one on, headed out. Turned back by the Mustangs.
Three v 3 from midfield for North. They can do anything with it.
There's Brennan. Sends one far side. Good spacing for the Mustangs. Good one-on-one play there. Rips a shot left of the goal. Well struck ball by Bailey Dervin. She shows her strength.
Yeah, great ball played out wide. Good little cut in from the left foot to the right foot.
Ball jumps off her foot.
Well struck ball. Had some space maybe to take another touch or two. Chose to shoot it from there. She obviously has the technique and form to rip the ball from there though.
Now Komencher creates some space with the footwork. Here's Wampler. Back to Komencher. Komencher maintains the possession. Clean tackle, they'll say. Dangerous situation, but well played by Otter.
I agree. Good no call there.
Wampler tries to leave one for Nielsen. Not a lot of clean looks for Southeast. They've been on the doorstep a few times, though. Now here's Brennan.
Two forwards trying to combine there. The idea was correct. Pass just not hit with enough pace on it.
Woeful for the Mustangs in the corner.
Gonna have a chance here, Mark.
Turned back by Komencher.
Good recovery from Komencher there. It's about to be a rip.
Goes left at the goal. Check out all the state tournament information for all sports. Season-long records, state tournament brackets, state tournament histories of each school, and all sports sponsored by the NSAA. Just check out the website, nsaahome.org. No score through nearly 55 minutes of soccer. And kicked right to Springer.
It was the first time from either team we saw somebody get the ball at their feet and just run at the other team. Flannery showing some good foot skills there, some good deceptiveness, and just didn't get enough on the shot.
Now Komencher. Nielsen to Wampler. Stabbed and saved for Southeast. Now Brennan going to work.
That's a great ball.
Great pass up towards Brennan. Brennan near the goal, it's in!
Started with the great ball over the top, Mark.
And the freshman Springer beaten by the sophomore Brennan.
Give the assist to Wobig. Is that who got the first touch on it?
Let's check it.
It was Dervin. Wobig's shots deflected. Right to Brennan. Great finish with the left foot. Not much Springer could do there.
Springer, of course, beside herself, but you're right. I mean, that was just perfectly tapped. From a compromising position, too, for Brennan. A good presence of mind by her, good body control to flip that one in. 1-0 lead for the Mustangs.
And the build-up to the goal came from the outside in, like they've been trying to do. That's where the spaces are. That's where they're trying to get the ball to.
Here's Nielsen, trying not to be outdone.
With the assist, number 6, Sarah Wolfel.
Sarah Wolfel.
Wolfel's in the game for Wobig right now, up top.
He gets credit on the assist. Southeast going right to work there. There's Wampler. Now a kick just off the crossbar. Wow, Lexi Taylor. For a left defense spot. Shows her leg strength. Almost tied this thing up.
Yeah. Good little shield from Wampler there. Just enough pressure to get the ball poked out to her left back, who's pushed up quite a bit. We haven't seen any backs in the attack like that for Southeast. Might be the change they're looking to make down the goal.
Let's check in with J.J. Davis.
Millard North, a few more quality chances, and the Mustangs just converted with Rachel Brennan. Sarah Wolfel got the assist. She got the assist in the first win of the tournament as the Knights denied right there. And then the 58th minute of the second semifinal game against Millard West, it was Rachel Brennan coming in and scoring the game winner after turning an ankle. So no surprise, Brennan gets the goal here, and as coach told us before the game, she's a born goal scorer, and she showed it right there.
All right, JJ, excellent points. And that was not a textbook goal by any stretch by Rachel Brennan. You just got to have a lot of coordination to be able to tap that one in.
And you preach with these kids. Get the ball in the box. Good things can't happen if you don't get those balls knocked in there. They're starting to get them knocked in there. They got on the end of one.
Here's Wampler controlling, trying to leave for Kohlmetcher. Back in the hands of Brennan.
Good turn.
Here's a 3-on-3, Brennan.
It's a good little individual skill there. Looking to play it out wide again to the flank. Had some options there. Deep throw in there.
And sent right to Springer. I don't know how much to read into the body language, but it seems like Southeast, after that goal, it kind of woke them up a little bit. They've had some pretty nice looking attacks, and there goes Brennan on the chase again. Slides, keeps it alive, but Springer's there. Well, that speed is just tough to account for.
And you're right, Mark. Sometime, you get a little comfortable. You're tied, still in the game. Then you go down a goal. It's what you need to wake yourself up and realize, hey, we got to go forward. We're losing. And no changes really that I see as far as formation-wise for Millard North, even though they're up the goal. with the 20 minutes left.
Now that said, even though it seems like Southeast has been woken up a little bit, Millard North's had a couple threats ever since that goal as well. It's like the game's opened up a little bit more.
Yeah, North would like nothing more than to put a second one in and make this 2-goal lead with not a lot of time left. They'll probably look to do that through some just a quick counterattack with Southeast trying to push more people up.
Sydney Taylor has come into the game for Southeast. Long ball tracked down, kept alive by Nielsen, but then turned back.
Back at the other end.
Just like that. Compromising position for the goalkeeper Springer, but it gets right to it. Woelfel has been pretty impressive off the bench, the freshman for Millard North.
And those are the exact counterattacks I was just talking about, Mark, that Millard North's going to look to get as Southeast pushes numbers forward.
It's Kometcher to Nielsen. Back into control is Millard North.
Yeah, they can be content with knocking it around like they are, not looking to go forward, as long as they don't lose the ball like they almost did that.
Now we'll see if
there's another lost ball in midfield.
Now here's Nielsen.
Bad spot to lose the ball.
That's where she's dangerous to Kometcher. Kometcher. Wampler.
She is a lefty. Just couldn't pull it back.
We'll see when Lincoln Southeast decides to bring Westenberg up. That is a strategy they'll employ after being down.
So I like what just couldn't pull it back there. Just trying to bend that in. Rolling too fast for it. I like the Millard North's trying to keep the ball, but they can't lose the ball in the midfield. Otherwise, Southeast will go right back at them.
And there's a loss of the ball near midfield, but down near the center line.
That was Westenberg getting forward a little bit there, Mark. The ball at her feet. She's recovered back. Just from that little run, you can tell she has the skill to maybe create some things if they do move her up.
Lexi Taylor controlling it for the Knights. Now Kometcher. Nielsen tried a little two-man game. Millard North is currently third all-time in Class A, or actually just in all classes. Third all-time with state championships. They have 5. If they get number 6 tonight, they would pass Duchesne and move up to second behind Marion, who has 10 titles. Just over 15 minutes away if they can hold here. But Southeast in their first finals, trying to change that. Lexi Taylor gets tangled up. Mustangs' Bailey Wobig.
Returning from Millard North, number 23, Rachel Brennan.
Lincoln Southeast so far in this game, compared to Millard North, the Mustangs have 7 fouls committed, Southeast none. Now that is a rarity.
It is pretty rare. Not quite sure why. The difference in the numbers, but might see that change as the game nears the end and they are still down a goal. Maybe get a little bit more physical, trying to win the ball, take the ball away.
Komecher up ahead to Nielsen.
It's going to run too far for him. Good idea. It's a little too far out into the space.
Get the sense, though, with how talented Nielsen is, she hasn't had anything close to a clean look yet tonight. You know she's boiling there. If she does get an opportunity, look out. Taylor was hoping that she'd have someone streaking for that one. Moyer in goal hasn't been challenged a whole lot tonight for Millard North. There's the first foul.
You can't do that. 2 hands to the back, just pushed her. Easy call with the ref right behind her. Not in a dangerous spot, though. Still 60 yards from goal.
Wayne Johnson, the head coach for Southeast. Komecher gets it right back from Pick.
Might have got a forearm to the face, it looks like. Let's see it here.
Pick has been involved in a couple of collisions tonight. Yeah, she might have got an elbow to the side of the face.
Nifty little touch by Komecher on the flick over her own shoulder prior to the foul. Looks like she's okay.
Marquette Pick, though, not scared to mix it up a little bit. Morrison Stadium, downtown Omaha. Sun has set. Just over 12 to go. Here's Wampler with the header. We're tied at 1.
Too often one of the shorter players on the field gets a goal off a header, but it happened there.
That thing developed in a hurry, and Kylan Moyer, the goalkeeper, was in no man's land. We'll check the goal. Next opportunity we have here. Here it is. Oh, beautiful.
I don't think she saw Wampler, the goalkeeper, Mark. I thought she believed she could just step out and the ball was going to bounce to her. Had 3 defenders out there. Wampler just stepped in front of all 3 of them. Headed that down into a wide open far side of the net.
A little miscommunication there between Allen and Komecher. They might have had something, but Komecher was not facing the right direction. Let's check in with JJ.
Just to add on that goal, Paige Nielsen kept that ball alive in the middle of the box with the header, and Hannah Wampler just snuck behind the defense. I think they were watching the ball instead of the offensive player, and Wampler had the angle on the header and just put it right in the corner. The 2 top scorers for Lincoln Southeast all year come up big when it matters most.
Goal comes at just over 12 minutes ago, and here's Nielsen to Wampler again. Good recovery by Millard North. Nielsen led her a bit more. We might be looking at 2-1. Now Komecher.
Southeast keeping the ball very well here right now. That's Nielsen trying to get a turn.
Southeast really applying the pressure here last couple of minutes. It was after that foul. Right after that foul. That thing developed, what, 8 seconds after the foul on Millard North.
Not sure what happened with Brennan there. She took a knee after that tackle. She's back up. Goal came off a set piece.
Yep.
So those are important, attacking wise and defending wise.
Now here's Marky Pick with the lefty trying to bend it in. Oh, and Brennan was right there on the doorstep. Springer a solid job, but whoa.
Good ball played in.
Coming out to grab it. Excellent job by Moyer. Nielsen was on the attack, maybe one of her best opportunities of the night.
The ball put over to the top with some nice pace on it, right at Nielsen's feet originally. Then off the chest. Moyer, has come up big a few times, wandering off that goal line to come attack. Might have cost them a goal, but aggressiveness also probably has saved them a couple of goals.
Right. Let's check in again with JJ.
Feeling down here, you guys, is that Lincoln Southeast, with that goal, the Knights really have appeared to loosen up a bit. The through balls, they're getting more chances. Lincoln Southeast certainly has the momentum right now. Millard North, to me, the Mustangs seemed a little stunned back upstairs.
Yeah, it seems that way. The ball's been on the other side of the pitch most of the time since that goal. I'll tell you what, you can't count out Brennan. The thing that I've been so impressed with her is just that speed. I mean, and the determination too. I mean, a ball that looks like no one's going to get to, she gives it all she can to get there, and it kind of creates those opportunities out of nowhere.
Yeah, she's still got a couple more years before she gets to UNL, but it's the type of player Coach Walker down there really likes. She's got the skill, she's got the speed, she's also very physical. You don't always get those three things in a forward.
Right. Well, she was awfully close a couple of minutes ago. Riley Burns was able to stop it and might have gotten away with one too. Tension has picked up considerably here at Morrison Stadium. 7:45 left in regulation. There's Burns with Brennan giving chase. Check that was Westenberg. Now Sydney Taylor trying to get it for the Knights. Otter to Pick. Switch the field.
See if they can't get a cross off here, Mark.
Finally comes, but turned back. Millard North spacing it out, being patient. Lost it, Shannon Courtney.
This could cause some problems here. Great little turn.
Nice move. The kick. Right to Springer.
A little piece of individual skill there. Forget the names of my moves, but I believe that might have been a Valarama. For real.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I just like how you switched to the Spanish accent for one word. That was fan. You kind of rolled the R there. Wobbler. Moyer comes out to grab it.
That was an imitation Roldar. I can't do it for real. It might be something else too. I don't know.
We'll go with it. There's what I'm talking about with Brennan. She turns the corner. Good strength. And out off of a Knight.
Number 15, Bailey Wogan.
Look at Brennan. It did not appear that she would be able to get around Lexi Taylor, but she did.
Unlucky touch there. Millard North trying to pin in southeast, out of bounds to southeast.
It's Kometcher. Out to Sydney Taylor. Wisely knocked out, so Millard North can set their defense.
Brennan will probably take this herself all the way, Mark.
Check her out, streaking up the field. A one-on-one, stopped by Springer.
Heck of a save. Good individual efforts, both teams right there.
Wow.
She tucks that low, she's got her, but hit her right on the upper body.
Nightmarish scenario for Springer, but she comes up with the stop.
I think that will show Brennan, though. You get Brennan the ball again at midfield with 3 to beat. Probably going to keep the ball and try the same thing again. She just outran the whole back line, even though she had the ball at her feet, which typically slows the player down.
That's something that structurally on defense, Southeast had covered. You just can't account for that type of speed.
They might get, thought they might get in again there, but the ball spun away from North.
Meanwhile, Paige Nielsen has been kind of quiet recently. Now fires one with the left.
Well struck ball.
You start to see the mouths come open a little bit. You're starting to see players bend over to get some oxygen, hands on knees.
Yeah, we've seen that with both title games. It's just an environment you can't recreate in training. You don't like to say it, but teams don't work this hard during the regular season in games. Isn't as much on the line in those regular season games. So you put out quite a bit more effort physically and mentally in these state games. That wears you out. Another thing, this is the third game in 6 days.
Right. But you don't have that usually during the regular season either. She was expecting Brennan. Brennan pulled up. Now at the 2-minute mark.
Good tackle from Kometcher there.
There's a 3-on-3, now a 4-on-3. Nielsen turned back nicely by Otter.
Now, Kometcher and Nielsen and Wampler are all near each other. They do a great job combining. Didn't see a lot of that in the first half, but starting to see quite a bit more now. That'll likely be the difference for Southeast, if they want to get the win prior to a shootout.
Strong right leg by Lexi Taylor. Misfires. Taylor's been pretty impressive. Didn't even start or play a whole lot last year, but it's really developed nicely this year for Dwayne Johnson and the Knights. One of their fastest, strongest players.
She's done. It's the second time she's gotten into the box as the left back this half.
Well, and Coach Johnson, kidding, well, I don't know if he was kidding that much, but earlier today in a conversation was saying it shows how smart I am that I didn't play her a lot last year because she's good. Brennan tried to head to herself. Now Wampler is able to get the edge. Tries to center back for Nielsen. Kohlmetcher. Nice looking move. Kohlmetcher going to keep it herself. Has a shot. Here's Cindy Taylor. Yep. That's going to do it for regulation. And check the goaltender. Kylan Moyer is still down for Millard North as we head to overtime. So in the waning seconds, Lincoln Southeast with an opportunity as Kohlmetcher delivers one beautifully.
And it's a bad.
And Taylor almost put it on.
Flag went up a little early there, Mark. Got saved anyway. No harm, no foul, but look what.
All right, so we'll step aside into regulation. Overtime in the Class A Girls State Final next on Cox.